Breakfast of Champions brings you the thrilling adventures of Jack Armstrong, the all-American boy.
Wave the flag for Hudson High, boys, show them how we stand. Ever shall be champions, known throughout the land. Rah, rah, rah.
Horror and mystery were big parts of old-time radio.
Good evening, friends of the inner sanctum. This is your host, the squeaky wheel again. Just slither in and let me dispel your weariness with a bit of eeriness.
And you'll remember this long-running series.
The makers of Flesh and Yeast present I Love a Mystery with the latest adventures of Jack, Doc, and Richie.
I often wonder what happened to those three guys. There was another mystery program, an unintentional herald of energy conservation.
Lights out, everybody. It is later than you think.
We performed in support of the restoration of the Smyrna Opera House with the production of
Autolite and its 98,000 dealers bring you a story well calculated to keep you in suspense.
And we thrilled to the adventures of Tom Mix, Dick Tracy, and this champion of justice.
The Green Hornet. He hunts the biggest of all game, public enemies that even the T-men cannot reach. The Green Hornet.
And perhaps comics were your cup of tea.
Mr. Allen! Oh, Mr. Allen!
The makers of Tender Leaf Tea and Blue Bonnet Margarine present The Fred Allen Show.
And then there were these next two beloved comedians.
J-E-L-L-O. Jello brings you the Baby Snook Show, starring Betty Bruce, and with everybody's favorite announcer, Harlow Wilcox.
And these days, because of the Delaware law banning smoking in public places, you won't be hearing
The Jack Benny program presented by Lucky Strike. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
And do you remember this classic comedy show?
Blue Bonnet Margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products presents The Great Gildersleeve.
The networks and advertisers did not ignore the nation's boys and girls who hurried home from school to catch the latest adventures of mild-mannered newspaperman Clark Kent. He liked to take his clothes off in telephone booths.
Over here! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's Superman!
The golden age of radio was a 20-year period, roughly between 1930 and 1950. Another box, one with pictures, took its place. Radio, the theater of the mind, for several generations, just galloped away. Now we return to those thrilling days of yesteryear, and you are members of the studio audience. We have substituted recorded music for a live orchestra, but otherwise we have attempted to create the proper setting for an old-time radio broadcast, with realistic sound effects and, yes, the original commercials. We even provide prompter cards to remind you when to applaud. Just as they did back then. So sit back, relax, enjoy our ad hoc touring company presentation of my favorite husband.
Hello, everybody. Do you remember Lucille Ball and My Favorite Husband? Well, now it's time for our ad hoc version. And as before, it's brought to you by the Jell-O family of desserts.
J-E-L-L. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Yum, yum, yum. Jell-O pudding. Yum, yum, yum. Jell-O tap. Till the pudding gets sweet.
As we look in on the Coopers tonight, it's just after dinner time. And we find Liz and George settling down to a normal evening's conversation.
Come on over here and sit down, Liz. I have something I want to talk to you about.
All right, let's get it over with. How much am I overdrawn?
Oh, you're not.
Well, what did I forget to pay, and when are they going to turn it off?
Now stop jumping to conclusions. This is business. I made out my will, and I want you to take a look at it.
Oh, it's only your will. I thought it was something I'd done that you... Your will?
Yes.
What's the matter, George?
Well, nothing's the matter.
Oh, there is too. You're keeping something from me.
It's just good business.
You're sick.
I never felt better.
You lied when we were married, and you're really older than I think.
Now stop it, stop it, stop it. Drawing up a will is just a good, sensible thing to do. And everything's legally taken care of if anything happens.
I won't discuss it.
Well, I want you to. You should know that I've arranged things so you'll know what to do when I go.
Oh, all right, George.
Now that's better.
Why?
What's the matter?
Why? Oh, George, I miss you so.
For heaven's sake, Liz, I'm speaking of the future. I haven't gone yet.
But you said you were going.
Of course. We all have to go.
Oh, don't do it, George. Don't go.
Look, honey, I'm perfectly well. I feel fine. I'm healthy, but let's face it, we all have to go sometime. We do, unless you know something the rest of us don't.
I don't know anything.
Honey, there's nothing serious about this. It's just business. Now, let me read it to you. Here. I, George Cooper, being of sane mind and sound body, do hereby declare this to be my last will and testament. To my wife, Elizabeth, I leave all my worldly goods.
Oh, George, thank you. You shouldn't have done it.
Now, I haven't done it yet.
Well, when you do it. You shouldn't have done it.
Oh, stop it.
Well, you said there was nothing serious about it. You want me to go cry again?
No. Here. Now, read it yourself.
I don't want to read it.
You know, it's for your own protection. I could leave everything to my mother.
Let me see that. All property in which to this date I have any interest? Okay, George, I'm finished.
Oh, what's the use? Give it to me. I had your will drawn up, but I don't suppose you want to read that either.
My will?
Yes.
What for? You're the one who's going.
Now, Liz.
What are you trying to do? Push me ahead of you in line?
No, it's just that there might be a time when your will would be needed. After all, you do have some property of your own.
I do?
Yeah. That property in Florida that your father left you, you know those 3 lots on the beach?
You mean sunken acres?
Well, they aren't really underwater, are they? I always thought it was oil land.
If there's any oil down there, it's still in a whale. Oh, I see it all now, George. You want me to sign a will leaving everything to you, and then you'll bump me off. You want to get your dirty fish hooks on my oil holdings.
Very funny.
You'll never get away with it, George. You'll be rich, but unhappy. I'll haunt you. Boo.
Oh, all right. Now cut it out, Liz.
Well, now, where's your sense of humor?
I'm sorry. I guess I'm tired. Now, I went to the trouble of drawing this will of yours up, and I want you to sign it.
This one I'd better read.
Go ahead.
I, Liz Cooper, being of sound mind and some body, do
Oh, Liz, that's sound body.
sound body, do hereby declare this to be my last will and testament.
George,
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Atterbury. What is it?
are you sleepy, my boy?
No, sir.
Then what are you doing with your head in the desk? Counting up 100 while your secretary hides?
Well, to tell you the truth, Mr. Atterbury, I spent all last night trying to explain to my Liz about wills.
Oh, gad, boy. Stretch out on that couch and take a nap.
No, I'll be all right. Did you want me?
Yes, I've been thinking. The weather's been getting nice now, and why don't you and Liz and Iris and I go up to my place in the mountains?
Hey, that sounds swell.
Yes, the four of us can fly up this weekend, then you and I can fly back Sunday and leave the girls up there.
Leave them up there? For how long?
The whole week. I'll have my new car by the following weekend, and we can drive up and get them.
Gee, the girls will be up there a whole week. Why, that'll be a swell vacation.
Yes, yes. For them too. Well, I knew you'd go for it, and I've already bought the tickets. Here are yours in the envelope.
Oh, thanks. You know, you're a pretty good boss.
Huh?
For an employer.
Say, you could do me a favor. I need some supplies